What's going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here on Two Guys Watching Football, getting you ready for preseason game number 2 for your Baltimore Ravens. Today, we're going to sum this up really quick. We're going to get ready by talking about the 5 Baltimore Ravens with the most approved going into preseason game number 2. So, this isn't necessarily the top 5 I'm excited to see. It's not necessarily the top 5 that are going to start. It's the top 5 that I think have the most approved going to this game that are kind of on the bubble, pushing for a roster spot. We'll kind of go through them here quick. So starting up number 1, it's got to be running back Justice Hill. I think he was one of the standouts from the last preseason game. He looked phenomenal coming back from that Achilles injury that we lost him for last year. He looked like he had some wiggle, some explosiveness. It was against, some number 2s, and I'm not thinking we're going to see J.K. Dobbins again. You may even see less Mike Davis because he's probably a little bit more safe. But Justice Hill's really battling it out. He's got, JK's probably ready for week 1. So there's one running back. Mike Davis came in as a vet. He's competing with them. They have Tyler Beatty that I doubt they're going to, expose on the practice squad. So he's probably going to be on the roster. Are they going to carry 4 running backs? It's hard to say. What Justice Hill really has going for him is he is a special teamer. He played really good gunner snaps in the 2020 season before missing last year. So it really gives him a leg up, but he's got to prove it as a running back. So big night ahead of him. Moving right along, offensive guard Ben Powers. Again, I've been talking about the offensive guard battle is between Tyree Phillips and Ben Cleveland. Powers, I think, is a prime trade candidate, something like what they did with Ben Bredesen, where it was a bit of a numbers game, but he still had a little bit of value. We saw them trade Jermaine Illuminor in a previous season. So I think Ben Powers has that type of appeal, given he started games. You look around the league, there's some teams suffering some injuries. Even the Giants, again, they've lost some guys. Ben Bredesen's currently hurt. So he's not only got a lot to prove to get out there on the trade market, but, I mean, he's still very much in the left guard battle. And, Greg Roman said he was the first team left guard, but then you kind of saw in the stadium practice and preseason game number 1, you kind of saw, Tyree Phillips playing a lot of snaps, and Ben Powers moved to center, which was interesting. So I have him listed as a guard here, but, with the opportunity with Linderbaum hurt, he could really try and get that center versatility. He actually looked pretty good in those center snaps, so good on him. But he's got a lot to prove, and he's got to stack 3 really good games in order to, make a case for this roster, given that Tyree Phillips and Ben Cleveland, I think they want to keep around because of the draft capital spent on them. Moving right along, wide receiver Mekhi Polk. He's got a real opportunity ahead of him here with injuries happening to Tylan Wallace. And I say Tylan Wallace specifically because Wallace was kind of a key special teamer. He was the first gunner on the field in the last preseason game. I believe he's out this week with that injury. And Polk came in as another guy playing the gunner role, but he also paired that with some really good receiving skills that we saw. I don't have Shamar Bridges listed on here because I think I just have Bridges that far up on my depth chart. I know that may seem crazy, but Polk is really fighting for that wide receiver 6 spot that would also be a core special teamer. So I'm not just looking at him for the wide receiver skills. I'm also looking at him for the gunner skills. So he's very much in that competition. Moving along, we get to the defensive side of the ball. I have inside linebacker Josh Ross, someone that really stood out to me last week. I even put together all of his snaps and put a video on him just so everyone could go and watch his snaps. He was the big reason Geno Stone had that interception. He was the one that deflected the pass up. He looked surprisingly good in pass coverage. That was going against kind of number 3. So I have him on here because I think he has an uphill battle to win that spot with Kristen Welch, Josh Bynes, Patrick Queen, and Malik Harrison ahead of him. I don't see them going 5 linebackers, and he's also, he's got Diego Fago and Zacoby McClain also battling with him as a UDFA linebackers. But when he impressed like that, I think he's got to stack 3 really good games to make that case. So I think he's got a lot riding on this one. And then we go into the last one that I have for you guys. It's edge Jeremiah Moon, and I picked him specifically because I thought he had some decent pass rush productivity in the first game. You see him right there getting a hand on Logan Woodside. I think he came away on that play with a QB hit. But they also, dropped him in coverage a couple times, and we're not sure where Tyus Bowser's at. So if they see Moon as and he does have a really good athletic profile. If they see him as playing into that Sam role, if Bowser's not ready to go right at the start of the season, he could really push for a kind of special team Sam linebacker role behind Dalen Hayes. So those are kind of the 5 I have for you guys, but I'm really here because I want to know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Who has the most riding on this game? Who do you want to see the most out of? That's all I have for you guys today. Enjoy game day. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other.